So how do you make friends and develop a social circle? I mean, just go on YouTube or any video platform and type in no friends, and a plethora of videos of people describing their situation of all different ages, saying how they have no friends and they feel lonely and how hard it is to make friends. I can empathize with them, and I can definitely relate to a certain degree. It's getting very hard out here to form any sort of connection with people. Everybody's very isolated. Nobody's interested in having some sort of community, or very few people are actually. That sense of community that you would see in the 80s and the 70s. I mean, that no longer exists for the most part. There might be certain places where it's still prevalent, but for the most part, right, in the Western world, it's been eradicated, and it's been eradicated for a reason. They want us to feel isolated. They want us to feel, like there's no community around. But that's a whole nother topic. This topic's I'm gonna go into how you can, improve your social life and make some friends. Just my personal advice. And, back to the video thing. Like I said, I can empathize with those people, but I've watched a few of those videos, and a lot of these people have some sort of victim mentality to them, right? I don't know. It's kind of, maybe I'm being overly harsh, but a lot of those people strike me as having victim mentalities. And that's the first piece of advice I would give you. Don't fall into a victim mentality or feel sorry for yourself. Yes, it's a tough thing to be alone and to not have any friends. But what's worse, to have friends that, just for the sake of having friends, people that they don't really care about you, or to be alone, right? And to not have to deal with those things. It's very hard to meet genuine people that actually have your best interest in mind. A lot of people are out just to take, and they put on a mask and pretend to be your friend because they want something from you. So you need to be careful on who you let into your inner circle. So that's the first thing that I would tell you. Don't feel bad. It's hard to meet genuine people, and when you meet them, you'll know, and you'll really take care of that relationship, because you know how hard it is to come across good-hearted people. Maybe I'm being overly cynical, but this is just something that I've noticed. I don't know if you can relate to this point. So don't feel sorry for yourself. Don't be a victim. Be strong, and realize that when it's time, it's time. So that's the first thing that I would recommend to you. Don't fall into a victim mentality, and also have good energy and a good mindset. It all starts from there, right? Having a good attitude and just good energy about you will open you up to many opportunities, and it'll make your life just open up in general. I've noticed the difference when I have a good attitude about me and when I have a bad one. Like I said, when I have a good attitude, things just seem to flow better. Life just seems to open up to me in a way, as opposed to the opposite, right? So that's that's a piece of advice I would give you. Have good energy about you and have a good mindset and attitude. Just do your very best to, have the best energy possible. There's gonna be times where you're gonna feel bad. Obviously, everybody's human, and you're gonna come across some things from time to time, but the point I'm trying to make here is to just have, develop a thick skin and not let every little thing affect your mood. So that's a piece of advice I would give you. So it all starts from challenging yourself. You need to challenge yourself. If you stay too comfortable and you don't really push your limits and you don't really try new things, how do you expect to meet people or to have some sort of social life? So start challenging yourself. If you're in school, join that club that you've always wanted to join, right? Or join that class you've always wanted to. Take that martial arts course you've always wanted to. Start doing things that are uncomfortable, and start getting out of your comfort zone and start doing things. Just start crossing out those things that you've always wanted to do. Of course, it's gonna feel weird at first because you're not used to it, but the more you challenge yourself, the more you'll realize that it's not so bad. Start challenging yourself, and start being more social in general. Start talking to people more. Don't be isolated for too long. Don't go too much time without talking to people. That social muscle is a muscle at the end of the day. Well, not a literal muscle, but you know what I mean. You need to practice it, and you need to make it a habit, something natural for you to be talking to people, conversing with people. Then it'll just become second nature. Like I said, at first it's going to feel weird because you're not used to it. You're going to feel a little awkward maybe, but the more you do it, the more natural it's going to be. So get in that habit of talking to people every day. Those opportunities always pop up. So fill in the blanks yourself. Have good confidence and self-esteem. Improve it any way you can. I have a lot of videos on my channel going over this topic. So do everything you can to have a solid confidence and healthy self-esteem. If you project confidence and self-esteem, people are just going to want to be around you. It all starts with how you feel about yourself, right? If you don't really like yourself, how do you expect others to like you? So get this area of your life handled, confidence and self-esteem, and other areas are going to fall into place, right? You just need to get out there and start trying things. Failure and looking stupid is not the end of the world, right? The true failure is not trying that thing that you always wanted to try. The true failure is not giving it a chance, right? So get in the habit of failing and looking stupid. Get out there and fail. Get out there and fall down, and you'll see that it's not so bad. And the more you do it, the more your confidence is going to go up. You're going to have this self-assurance. You're going to have this self-esteem to you, knowing that you've tried it before and that it's not so bad. Ultimately, you need to be in places where there is familiarity, where there's something to bond over, and there's opportunity. So think about it. If you're in school, all those areas are, checked, so to speak. Familiarity, right? You're coming across people every day. You're seeing you're seeing familiar faces day to day, right? So familiarity is being built up, something to bond over, right? You're in school, or you may be in a club, so it's easier to talk to the people, or in that particular instance, or in that particular social setting. And there's opportunity, right? There's a lot of people, there's a lot of classes to take, so there's bound to be opportunity to talk to others and to make friends. So think about places or things that you can be doing where all these areas are hit. Familiarity, right? Where there's something to bond over and where there's opportunity. Join a martial arts class. Again, take a class or do something that interests you. Don't go into these events or to these classes with the mindset of I'm here to make friends, because that's just going to put you in a negative headspace. It's going to put you in the wrong headspace. It's going to make you needy even, right? It's just the wrong mindset to go into these things, because if a certain result doesn't happen, then you might categorize the whole thing as a failure. So I think a better mindset to have is to just do things that you find fun, that you want to learn from, and everything else is just icing on the cake. So go into these classes or into these events with the mindset of I'm just here to have fun and I'm here to learn something new, and everything else is just icing on the cake. And of course, put yourself out there and be as social as you can, and you'll see how opportunities just start sprouting out of nowhere. And do your best to keep in mind the things or the other points that I mentioned in this video, right? Having good energy, having a good attitude, it all meshes together. You don't need to overthink these things. It just comes naturally. You just need to put yourself out there and give it a chance. Just start saying yes to opportunities that come up, right? I don't know, maybe after school somebody invites you to go to a barbecue or whatever. Start saying yes, right? Or somebody invites you to join a certain club. Start saying yes. A chess club or whatever it may be. Start saying yes to opportunities in your life that come up. So the last thing I want to leave you with is to realize that it's a process. It takes time, and it's definitely not impossible. Like I said earlier in the video, nowadays it's very difficult because everybody's on their phones, right? Everybody's isolated. Everybody's just... that sense of communion, that sense of community has been lost in society, I think. And, with the internet and other factors coming along, social media, things are just more difficult. But it's definitely possible to meet genuine people and to create meaningful relationships, right? To make friends. So if you made it this far in the video, I thank you for listening. Hopefully something in this video was of use to you. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I make videos on self-improvement. I talk about topics that are not very mainstream. If you consider yourself an open-minded person and can handle, information that's not very mainstream and you don't get triggered easy, then this channel's the right one for you. I just cover topics that I find interesting in general. So thank you so much for listening. I'll see you in the next one.